A week ago at this time, Oliver and I were heading to his appointment. Just in the past week, the colors of summer have started to go. Part of me thought Oliver took the colors with him, but also it's bringing out the oranges. He was cremated, and I won't be getting his remains. I didn't have a spot to put him anyway, so I thought this could be a spot. I brought him with me. Here he is. I wrote a eulogy for him while he was still here. I haven't really changed it much. And I'm wearing this hoodie. I wore this hoodie for a few days before his appointment day, his last few days, because I wanted something that would smell like me, so he wouldn't be scared when I brought him in. And it still has some of his fur on it, which is really sad. Little hairs. So he's still partly here. Now this is going to be a little awkward. I'm going to try what I can do, and I hope I'm in the frame. Okay. It's really hard to write this, and probably someone else could have done it a lot better than me. But I don't think anyone could have been a better dad. Alright, okay. So, Oliver Kenneth Branagh Cole, 2003 to 2018. Oliver, like most cats, had many nicknames. His beefy, stumpy paws led me to call him Moon Boots, or Mr. Moon Boots. He was also so elegant and regal, and he so carefully placed his paws on your shoulder when you held him, that I referred to him once as a dainty prince, which stuck. Although Oliver is a name I might have selected myself, he came to me as a 12-year-old cat with this name already given. Presumably, he's named after the 1988 Disney film Oliver and Company, a take on Oliver Twist. A story about a gentle little orphaned ginger-striped cat seemed very appropriate for him. He was a shy, anxious little guy at first, with a surprising little chirp of a meow for such a distinguished senior gentleman. At the Chittenden County Humane Society in Vermont, where he awaited a forever home, Oliver had sequestered himself inside a little egg-shaped, cave-like bed. In fact, he wouldn't emerge from the egg, so he had to be rather unceremoniously dumped out of it. And that was the first time I heard his little peep of a meow, and I was immediately sold. On the way home, Oliver was so nervous in the cardboard carrier that they gave us that he peed, and it saturated the cardboard, and it warmed my lap. That's how I knew he peed. It took a while to acquaint him with my other senior gent, Jake, and a rambunctious dog called Tucker, who lived with us at the time. The three of them, Jake and Tucker and Oliver, they eventually acclimated and became friends. When Tucker left, the two boy cats became even more tightly brothers, although Oliver always tended to care for Jake, as if the younger cat, who was only 1 year younger, was Oliver's own kitten, or perhaps even grand kitten. He frequently gave Jake tongue baths and thorough ear cleanings, and they sometimes had scuffles, maybe more than sometimes, because Jake liked to instigate chase and bite games. But for the most part, they were very close to each other and to me. And together we made a little 3-part family. During his final days, a friend asked if Oliver had a middle name. I didn't think his nicknames felt dignified enough for him, but I did feel that he should have a fuller name like the rest of our little band. We all have long names. There were a few cues for the name I did select. One is that one of Oliver's last days, on one of his last days, he made himself comfortable on a visiting friend's coat. When he moved from the coat, I collected it to hang it up, and I saw it was a Kenneth Cole, which seemed to be a little sign. Few know that Jake actually has quite a long name, Skylar Jacob Gyllenhaal Cole. To make Oliver closer to Jake as a brother, I decided to also give Oliver an actor's name, an actor with whom in the past I've suggested Oliver shares a resemblance, Kenneth Branagh. Like Oliver's regal nature, Branagh has played princes and kings, but possibly for me, Branagh more quickly recalls Gilderoy Lockhart, a dandy in the Potterverse, easily spotted by his gingerly coiffed hair and his lilac robes. Oliver, as a wizard, might dress like Lockhart, even if Oliver didn't share Lockhart's cowardice. He might actually be a combination of Lockhart and maybe a Newt Scamander, really gentle, soft-spoken Hufflepuff. At one point, a couple years ago, Oliver had an accident that involved somehow falling out of a window and possibly landing on a car hood in the driveway below. We took him to see a veterinary orthopedic specialist. Luckily, Oliver hadn't broken any bones, but we discovered he was riddled with arthritis. The doctor told us she had to really pinch him to get a reaction, which indicated how stoic Oliver was. He was brave in the face of pain. He didn't show it. He was, as I said, anxious, though, a perpetual over-groomer. Oliver frequently had little bald patches on his arms. At adoption, his whole belly was naked from self-grooming, and I described him then like a spayed lady, because they shaved lady cat bellies. At the Walmart pharmacy where I would pick up his anti-anxiety medicine, we made up his birthday to be January 1st, 2003. Although I don't know his exact birth date, I feel quite confident he was a Libra. Libras generally get along quite well with my and Jake's Gemini. Once described in cat meme terms, a pretty kitty, ruled by Venus, planet of love and beauty. Libra loves preening and cuddling with you. I was hoping to give him a sweet 16. He didn't make it there. I guess he was 15 this year. We are in Virgo season right now, heading towards the end of it now, but we were in the middle of Virgo on his last day. But I hope we continue to think of Oliver when the stars shift in a few weeks into Libra. His medication absolutely helped his anxiety, as did his thunder shirt that sometimes he wore for extended periods. But I also believe he felt very safe and happy in our little family. And I tried very hard to let him feel loved. Especially in the more anxious moments. But I'm going to go back to Harry Potter for a second. In addition to Libra, I already mentioned I believe Oliver would have been sorted into Hufflepuff. I've described Oliver as patient. In fact, it's probably the first word I think of for him, even though it's an unusual descriptor for a cat. Puffs are known for their patience, their loyalty, and a sense of fair play. Though his little ginger goatee resembled Kenneth Branagh, which reminds of Lockhart, I think in the Potterverse, Oliver was actually more like Cedric Diggory, another Puff, right? Especially at this moment. I hope these memories of Oliver that I've shared do him justice. But I'm going to close with Professor Dumbledore's words for Cedric in the film version of Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, because I believe they suit Oliver too. So originally these were for Cedric, but I reference them now for him, for Oliver. He was a boy with the softest fur and the warmest purrs. He would purr so easily. He was my study buddy, and he was my best friend. Today we acknowledge a really terrible loss. He was, as you all know, exceptionally hardworking, infinitely fair-minded, and most importantly, a fierce, fierce friend. Now the pain we all feel at this dreadful loss reminds me, it reminds us that while we may come from different places and speak in different tongues, our hearts beat as one. You remember that, and we'll celebrate a boy who was kind and honest and brave and true right to the very end.